They say most people fail NEBOSH IGC exam on their first attempt. But what if I told you you don't have to? You can actually pass it on your first attempt. Yes, it's usually not easy. It's sometimes hard, and it takes discipline to pass this exam, especially on your first attempt. But here you are ready to prove them wrong, not through the shortcuts, but through the right strategy to pass the NEBOSH IGC and take your career to the next level. If you are watching this video, it means you are serious about health and safety, and it means you are even more serious about passing your NEBOSH IGC exam, not on your third attempt, not on your second attempt, not next year, not in the next 6 months, not with the next batch, but now. So let's do this together. Hi, my name is Chris and I'm a health and safety officer living and working in Qatar. I started the NEBOSH IGC exam on the 5th of February 2025, and guess what? I passed on my first attempt. Not the best student, I'm not the most intelligent, yes, but in this video I'll be sharing some real practical tips that helped me to succeed on my first attempt, tips that I believed could also make a big difference for you too. Welcome to my channel, Chris Safety, where we talk all things related to health, safety and career growth in the HSC world. So if that sounds like something you need on your journey, don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on notifications for more content like this. So first things first, before we go on with the tips, why NEBOSH? Why this certificate? The NEBOSH International General Certificate is not just a random qualification. It's not just any certificate. It's a globally respected badge that tells employers this person actually knows how to keep people safe. This person is actually professional in what he or she does, and it's actually relevant in every industry, from oil and gas to manufacturing, hospitality, healthcare, and even offices. If you're a manager, you are a supervisor, or just someone who cares about creating a safer workplace, then this qualification is for you. For me, it was a badge from where I was to where I wanted to be. For employers, this certificate does more than tick the boxes, because it reduces accidents, it helps improve the employee well-being, it shows clients and auditors that you don't just talk safety in the company you're working, but you actually live it. It's actually a daily life. That's the kind of professional you become after having your NEBOSH IGC. So let's look at before the training, before you start your classes. Are you actually ready? There are some things you need to make sure that you have before you start thinking about taking the NEBOSH IGC course. Let's rewind a little. Before you start training, are you prepared? Not just mentally, not financially, but practically. Are you actually prepared for this? You need a few things in place, and these are very, very important things, very, very essential. The first is a decent understanding of the English language, because the content you'll be dealing with is technical. It's very, very technical, and it requires good comprehension. Then you also need basic computer skills, basic computer knowledge on how to convert files from Word to PDF, how to save files, how to search the internet and all that, or even how to use AI. And then you also have to get a basic understanding of health and safety principles, even if it's just from observation. And then lastly, you need to be dedicated, like real dedication. You need it. You actually don't need years of experience, years of field experience to pass the NEBOSH IGC. All you actually need is the willingness to learn. So let's look at during the training, when you have started learning. This is where you build the foundation. Training is the most important phase. You don't just attend for attending sake. You don't just attend because you want to pass, because you just want to be present at the class. You attend to learn. You have to understand the structure of the syllabus. You have to know what's expected from you as a student. You have to know everything. Your course materials will be given to you by your trainer. You have to study the syllabus, relate the topics that you are being taught to your own experiences, because it helps you to understand more, it helps you to memorize more, and then take meaningful notes. Don't just copy what you say. Write what you understand. Use the internet also. Use resources from different parts, from NEBOSH, from different sites to go deeper. And then practice past questions, practice mock questions regularly. Identify your weak points, identify your weaknesses, and then relate it to your trainer. During my training, I I treated every class like a mission, even though I erased 2 classes along the line. But at least every day I studied like 3 to 4 hours. Even if it wasn't at once, I could spread it out, maybe 1 hour here, 2 hours here, 30 minutes here. So you have to understand that discipline is more important than motivation, and consistency beats intensity. After your lessons, after your classes, your trainings, comes the exam day, the IG1 exam. And the IG1 exam is an open book exam. This means that you have access to resources. You can use any book, any resource that you have, the ones given to you by your trainer, the ones you have downloaded from different sites across the internet. You can use them on the exam. Well, don't let the words open book fool you. It's not a walk in the park. I remember when I was in secondary school, our maths teacher then, Mr. Carlo, he would always tell us that we have an open test. I will be happy that we have an open test. We can use our textbook, we can use our notebook and write the test. But at the end of the day, you find out that it was even more difficult than the normal test where we don't have access to our books. So in this case also, don't let the words open book exam to fool you and you just feel relaxed because you have access to your resources. It's a test of your understanding, not just memory. You have to know that. And some tips I will give to you is you should read the scenario thoroughly. On the exam day, is what I'm talking about now. When you start the exam, remember I have some bonus tips at the end of this video. So these tips I'll be giving here are for the exam day proper. When you are taking the exam, the first thing you should do, firstly, read the scenario, because the scenario will be given to you. So read it thoroughly, read it properly, understand the setting, understand the issues, understand the hazards, understand the positives, the negatives in that scenario. If possible, not even if possible, compulsory, I recommend, from my own experience, I recommend that you should print out the question paper. Print it out. If possible, print like 2 or 3 copies. So on this copy, you are noting out the negatives. On this copy, you are bringing out the hazards. On this copy, you can get a highlighter and then just highlight whatever you want to highlight. So that's it for the scenario. Then secondly, you should start with the simplest question. This is what I also recommend based on my own experience. It builds your confidence, because when you start with the simplest question, it gives you that confidence. It gives you that belief that, okay, yes, you've actually started this day. And before you know it, you're on the next question. And before the time runs out, you are already done with the exam. Then another thing is to use the P principle. P-E-E principle. This principle means that the P there is for points. State out the points. The E there is for evidence. Get an evidence from the scenario. And then explanation. Explain. Give your explanation. Give money from your own context. In your own words. Explain. Relate what you have from the evidence, from the scenario, to what you have in your course materials. Another tip is to make a rough plan for each answer. In a particular question, write out the rough points. You can call it a rough sketch or whatever you want to call it. Well, write it out. And if you have a question which has, say, 10 marks, I recommend you write between 10 and 15 points, which you are going to also explain with the P principle. Another tip I'll give to you is to stay patient. The fact that you're working with time, you're working with 24 hours, doesn't mean that you just rush like that. You have to also be patient so that you don't make mistakes while answering your questions. And then make sure you answer all questions. It's better you answer all questions, and if in a few questions maybe you don't have all the answers, than not answering at all, because those few points could be the difference between a pass and a referral. And lastly, make sure you review everything before you submit. It's not just about writing and writing. It's actually about applying what you have learned from your classes. And then you've got everything you need. Trust me, if you follow this pattern, and then the bonus tips I'm going to give you at the end of this video, I promise you are going to pass your IG1 exam on the first attempt. Another thing is that you shouldn't give generic answers. This is very, very important. Any answer you are giving, make sure you relate it to the scenario. Or unless that particular question is just asking for a generic answer, which you would understand, which you would know. But apart from that, relate every answer you have to the scenario. Every answer you are giving must be related to the scenario. Another very important thing to note is that you must stay ethical. Like, you shouldn't engage in any form of malpractice. This is very, very important. No form of cheating is allowed. You shouldn't use AI. You shouldn't copy and paste content from different websites and just put there. You should use your own context. You should use your own words to explain whatever you have. So don't let a moment of panic to destroy your exam, to destroy your credibility. We can visit the NEBOSH website and check the malpractice policy here. They can ban you from even taking the exam for, like, I think 1 or 2 years. So don't just copy and paste things, use AI and all that, and don't even go to the extent of maybe somebody writing for you. That's very, very, very wrong and also against the law. So now I'm going to be sharing the bonus tips I have for you from my own experience. Remember, everything I'm sharing here is from my own experience, from how I took the exam. So here are some tips I learned and I would like to share with you guys. The first one is to take the day off. If you are working, the biggest mistake you can make is to go to work on the day of your exam, because you'll be very, very distracted. Your manager will be calling you, your colleague will be calling you, everybody, like, you'll be distracted. So take an off. And then another thing is to log in early. Before the exam day, confirm. NEBOSH will send your details, your password before then, weeks before the exam day. So you can write it down, write it in sorry, save it in your phone, anyhow you can save it. Log into the website before the exam day, so as you make sure that your credentials are okay. Imagine that on the exam day you miss a password and your time is already counting. You are still battling with passwords. So you should make sure that your login details, your credentials, your username, your password, everything is okay and correct. Then download all the necessary PDFs and guidance documents that you are going to need before the exam day. You don't want to be searching the internet on the exam day. You think that I have time because it's 24 hours, but I can guarantee you that you actually don't have time. When you start downloading stuff, you start searching the internet. Internet can be slow depending on your location. So it's better you do these things, download the necessary documents, open a folder on your laptop. By now you should know that you need a laptop. You don't need to use your phone. You can use your phone to write the exam, but I don't recommend you to use your phone. You should use a laptop. This is why I talked about computer literacy from the beginning. So download all necessary stuff that you need and then print the question paper. Immediately you get the question paper, look for a way, print it out. It will be very, very easier for you to analyze when you have it printed out than when you have it on your computer screen. You are trying to navigate the question, navigating the answer, and navigating the resources that you have. It's going to be somehow confusing for you, especially if you are not that technical in terms of computer usage. So print out the question paper. You can print out like 5 copies. So you can just, on the scenario, you can actually highlight the points that you want to use and answer your questions. Then save your documents regularly. Don't take chances. If you answer one question, save it, Control S. Anything you do, save. And then don't delete anything. Don't do that mistake of deleting. Remember I say, open a folder, name it NEBOSH IG1. Anything you're saving should be in that folder, so that any document you're looking for, it's there. Then take breaks. You have 24 hours. Yes, the exam will take you, like, on average, for me, it took me between 8 and 10 hours to finish. So take breaks, stretch, listen to some music. Doesn't mean you should listen to music and convert your exam space to a club. Just listen to some cool motivational music, and then, very important, stay calm. Your preparation will carry you. Another pro tip is that you should talk to those who have done it before. Yeah, the alumni. Find someone who has already passed the NEBOSH IGC. Ask them about their experience. Learn how they tackled some of their own problems. How they tackle the scenario-based questions, how they manage time, how they stay motivated, and all that. For me, I talked with one of my boss who had passed the NEBOSH IGC over 10 years ago when it was still paper-based, and he just gave me all the belief that I could also do it if he could have done it then. And then they say it was very much more difficult than now that you can use the computer to do it. So he gave me that belief. I also recommend get someone who has taken that exam already. You have some more confidence. So in the concluding part, confidence is key. Confidence is everything. This course isn't about perfection. You don't need to be perfect. It's just about progress, moving from one step to another. It's just every hour that you study, every minute that you study counts. Every note that you took, it all comes together. It all adds up to help you on the exam day. You've made the decision to level up. Now it's left for you. It's left for you to follow through. In the next video, I'll be talking about the IG2, the NEBOSH IG2 practical risk assessment and how to pass it, and the tips I will give to you from my own experience. So you just know that you're not just passing a test, you are stepping into the next level. You're stepping into your future, and when you finally get that certificate, I can guarantee you that you will see by your name NEBOSH IGC. Trust me, it will be worth it. If this helped you, let me know in the comment section. Subscribe to my channel for more tips on safety, on health, safety and environment. So go and get that pass. You've got this. I go and smash that exam. If you are taking the NEBOSH IGC with the next batch, I wish you all the best. I wish you congratulations in advance, and also I wish you all the best at work for your exams. Don't forget to hit the like button, share this video and subscribe to my channel for more content.